everyone. In this session, we are going to discuss about image formation of spherical mirrors. Okay. So before drawing the image, we have to follow some rules to draw the ray diagram. Okay. So the first one, always we need to keep the object in the left side. Okay. So we know that this is the way we used to draw the figure. And there should be a principal axis. Right? No? Pole should be there, focus and center of curvature. Okay. So always we have to keep the object in the left side of the mirror. Any position we can keep it. Okay. That we'll discuss later. So we have to keep always in the left side. That is our first rule. Second rule, we always keep the object perpendicular to this principal axis. Okay. The object should be kept perpendicular to the principal axis, and one more condition is that the feet of the object should touch the principal axis. Okay. So sometimes when you get the question, you will make a mistake that you only will do like this way. It never touches. Or sometimes only this arrow mark will be there. So if you are doing like this way, you will not get the mark. The ray diagrams are very important for the conditions. Okay. So make sure that you are drawing the object perpendicular to the principal axis and the feet should touch the principal axis. Okay. So that's the second rule. And the third rule, minimum 2 set of rays should be there to form the image. Okay. So minimum 2 set of convenient rays should be there to draw the ray diagram or image formation. Now let's see which are the convenient rays. We know that minimum 2 set of rays we are required to draw a ray diagram. So we'll see which are the rays conveniently we can take it. First one, we will take the ray which is passing through the center of curvature. Okay, first one, when the ray is passing through the center of curvature. Consider this as a concave mirror. If you are marking a concave mirror, we should mark pole and center of curvature. Okay. So, any ray which is passing through the center of curvature, after the reflection, it will retrace the same path. Okay, first condition, any ray which is passing through the center of curvature will retrace the same path. We will see as in the case of convex mirrors. As in the case of convex mirrors, consider this as center of curvature. Just consider a ray striking over here. If we extend, that will be passing through the center of curvature. So, this ray will reflect back to the same path. So, this is our first condition when a ray is passing through the center of curvature. The second one, a ray parallel to the principal axis. We'll see what happens to the ray when it is parallel to the principal axis. A ray which is parallel to the principal axis, after the reflection, it should pass through the focus. If this is the focus, the ray which is passing to the principal or parallel to the principal axis, after the reflection, it passes through the principal focus. As in the case of convex mirrors, this is the focus. A ray parallel to the principal axis. After the reflection, we know that this is the way how it moves up. If you see that extended, it will be coming from the principal focus. Now third condition, a ray which is passing through the focus, how it will reflect back. A ray which is passing through the focus. This is the center of curvature, focus and pole. If a ray is passing through the focus, after reflection, it will be parallel to the principal axis. After the reflection, that ray will pass as parallel to the principal axis. Same case for wax mirrors. This is the focus, center of curvature and pole. A ray passing through the focus or appears to pass through the focus. After the reflection, the ray will be parallel to the principal axis. Now last condition or last convenient ray we can take it that if a ray strikes on the pole, how it will reflect. This is a pole, center of curvature. Just consider a ray is going to strike on the center of on the pole. So if this is an angle theta, it follows the laws of reflection and it will be passing with the same angle of incidence and angle of reflection will be same. Same in the case of convex mirrors. If this is a pole, if the ray strikes over here, it will come back or bounce back to the same medium with same angle I and R, but both will be having the same angle. So these are the four convenient rays. From among these four convenient rays, we can select any two rays for the formation of ray diagram. Now we'll see the kinds of images. In 7th standard, we studied the kinds of images. Which are they? Real image and virtual image. Okay. What are the characteristic property of real image and virtual image? Let's see that. First one, after the reflection, the rays actually meet at a point. The rays actually meet at a point for real image. If it's a real image means after the reflection, the rays will meet at a point. And for virtual image, it appears to meet. Okay, it appears to meet. Actually, it's not meeting. If we extend the reflected light, we feel that there's a point. Okay. Now, second one. If we are using a screen, we can get the image on the screen. Okay. For real image, we will get the image on the screen. But for virtual image, we cannot take or we cannot get the image on the screen. Will not get. Okay. Will not take. Now, one important point we studied in 7th standard about real image and virtual image. That was real image is always inverted image. It's always inverted and this is erect image. Okay, so these are the characteristics of real image and virtual image. Now, let's move on to the image formation. With the help of the convenient rays, now we are going to see how to draw a ray diagram for the formation of image when we keep the object in different positions. First, we will see in the case of concave mirror. So, first condition when the object is at infinity. First one, when object is at infinity. When the object is at infinity, where we will get the image. So now we are going to see the all the cases of concave mirror. Then we will see what happens for convex mirror. So first we have to draw a concave mirror. If the object is, first we have to mark its center of curvature, focus, pole. Okay. So infinity means more than 1 meter, 2 meter, beyond the immediate surrounding, that we can consider it as infinity. So here we have an object in infinity. So only we are going to show the rays how it strike on the mirror. So I am taking the two convenient rays which is parallel to the principal axis. So one I am taking from here. So don't forget to put the arrow mark even for the incident ray and the refracted ray. So this is our first convenient ray. If a ray is parallel to the principal axis, after reflection, it should pass through the focus. The ray should pass through the focus. And with single ray, we cannot find out the position. So I am taking one more ray. It's another ray which is parallel to the principal axis. This also after the reflection passing through the principal focus. So in this case, if the object is at infinity, we will get the image at focus. We are getting the image at focus. If we see the characteristics of the image form, it is real image. Actually, these rays are meeting at a point. So we can consider it as a real image, and the nature is inverted in nature, and we will get very small image or diminished image. And this is the case when the rays are parallelly strike on the mirror. If we consider another case like the rays are parallel and striking in a different way, like focus, center of curvature and pole, the rays are striking like this way, on this way, from parallelly striking. One ray is passing through this way and another ray is passing through the focus. Just consider. So, if the ray is striking on the pole after the reflection, it has to go with the same angle, and the ray which is passing through the focus, it should parallel to the principal axis. So, this is the way how the ray will go. So, both rays after the reflection, it is striking over here. So, we will get an image here on the focus or small focus. So, here we can consider the same way inverted image, real image and small in size, so diminished in size. So, if the rays are not parallel to principal axis, but anyway, from anywhere, anyway, the rays can fall on the mirror. So, this is the way how we will get the image when the object is at infinity. This is the first case. We will see the second case. Second case, when the object is beyond center of curvature, where we will get the image. Object beyond center of curvature. Okay. So, if the object is beyond center of curvature, we will find out where we will get the image. Pole, focus, center of curvature. Okay. So, beyond center of curvature, I am just drawing an object here. And I am taking a ray which is parallel to the principal axis. If a ray is parallel to the principal axis, it has to, after the reflection, it has to pass through the focus. So, this is our first ray. Second ray, I am taking a ray which passes through the center of curvature. We can take any ray. I am taking a ray which passes through the center of curvature. So, that ray should retrace the same path. The ray should retrace the same path if the incident ray is passing through the center of curvature. So, this is the place we got the image. We got an intersection here. So, if you draw the image here, this is the way how we got the image. And the position is between center of curvature and the focus. We get the object beyond the center of curvature and we got the image between focus and center of curvature. If you see the characteristics of the image form, it's also real, inverted, and comparing with the first case, it got increased in size. This is also small in size, but comparing with the first case, when the object formed at focus, comparing with that, it slightly increased the size. This is our second case. Now we will see the third case. So slowly the object is coming from far away near to the mirror. Now we are going to keep the object at center of curvature. Third case, the object at center of curvature. When we keep the object at center of curvature, if you take proper measurement while drawing with scale, you will get the image position exactly at the same place. I am drawing it as a rough figure. Sometimes there may be slight variations. So here I am marking a center of curvature, and here this is my focus and this is a pole. So I get the object here. A ray, first ray, one ray which is passing through the or parallel to the principal axis. After the reflection, is passing through the focus. Then one ray which is passing through the focus. After the reflection, it should pass through the parallel to the principal axis. So this is a center of curvature, focus. This is a place where we got the intersection. So if you draw the image here, this is the way we will get the image position. If you see, it's equal in size too. We got the image also at center of curvature with same size of the image. So image also at center of curvature, real in nature, inverted in nature, and the size is equal to the size of the object. Our next case, our fourth case, is when the object is between center of curvature and focus. We will see where we will get the image. So this is our concave mirror. Pole, focus, and center of curvature. Object position should be between the center of curvature and the focus. So first ray I am taking which is parallel to the principal axis. So after reflection it has to pass through the principal focus. This is the way how it goes. Now next ray I am taking the ray which is passing through the focus. So after the reflection, this is a reflected ray. This is next incident ray. After the reflection, it has to pass through the, or it should be parallel to the principal axis. So this is the way how it goes. So this is a point where we got the intersection of reflected ray. If we join the line towards this point, we will get the image in this way. So if the object is between center of curvature and the focus, we will get the image beyond center of curvature. Image beyond center of curvature. If we see the nature of the image form, real in nature, inverted in nature. But if we see the size, slowly the size is increased. So the size is greater than the size of the object. When it was kept on the center of curvature, we got equal size. Now, when object is moving towards the mirror and the image is moving away from the mirror, slowly from there to here it increases its size. Now we are at the fifth condition when the object is at infinity. So draw a concave mirror, mark P, F and C. I am keeping the object here at focus. So first ray parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it has to pass through the focus. It has to pass through the focus. Now second ray which is striking over here, it's like a, and that ray is passing through the center of curvature. So this is the way the rays are going, and here we are not able to mark the position where it gets intersect. So that means we are getting the image at infinity. We are getting the image at infinity. So when the object is at focus, we will get the image at infinity. If we recall from the first to fifth section, we can find it out that first case object was at infinity, we got the image at focus. Here object at focus, image at infinity. Second case, image beyond center of curvature, object beyond center of curvature, we got the image between center of curvature and focus. When we see the fourth case, object between center of curvature and focus, image beyond center of curvature. And the next case, when the object was at center of curvature, we got the image also at center of curvature with same size. here when it is moving away from the mirror, the size of the image is getting increased. Now last condition, that is an exceptional case. Sixth condition, when the object is kept between the focus and the pole. Sixth condition, object between focus and pole. So here we have the mirror, pole, focus, center of curvature. I kept the object here, one ray which is passing parallel to the principal axis. After striking, it is passing through the focus. Next ray, like it's passing through the center of curvature, the ray which is passing, or if we extend the ray, we have to manage in such a way that it is passing through the center of curvature. So, if we extend these two lines, we will get an image here on the right side. It is erect in nature and bigger in size, and it's a virtual image. Actually, these rays are not meeting, but it appears to meet towards a point. If you see the size, this is the only size of the object, and we got the image with a bigger size, and it's a virtual image. That's why we need to represent it with a dotted line. This is only an exceptional case of concave mirror. Rest all the 5 cases, we will get the real image, inverted image. Size will vary, depends upon the positions, but we will get always real image and inverted image. But in the case of 6th case, we will get erect image, virtual image and a magnified image. Erect, virtual and magnified image. Now we are going to see the image formation as in the case of convex mirrors. So concave mirror, we studied 6 different conditions or the 6 different positions. But here as in the case of convex mirror, we are just going to see only one single case. So consider this is a convex mirror. Mark pole, focus and center of curvature. Here I have the object with me. So first ray parallel to the principal axis. After the reflection, this is the way how it moves, and if we extend the line, we will get this on the focus. Now second ray which is passing through the center of curvature. It will retrace the same path. If we extend the line, likewise it will go. So this is the point we got the intersection. This is the point we got the intersection. If we draw the figure, it's also virtual in nature. We got the image between the focus and the pole. Okay. So in all the cases, irrespective of the position of the object, as in the case of convex mirror, the position of image will be between focus and pole. If we keep if the object is coming towards the mirror, the image is also moving towards the pole and slightly it increases its size. But always the position will be between pole and the focus. This is the case we have to study as in the case of convex mirrors. So we can conclude the entire image formation like this way. For concave mirror, we will get different size of images. Initially when it was at infinity, it was very small, diminished one, inverted, real. So as it is coming towards the mirror, we are getting the image as the size of the images was increasing, and when it kept at center of curvature, we got the same size image. When it moved towards the mirror, automatically the size of the image was increasing. So it depends upon the position. We got inverted, real and different size object. And one more thing is that with the concave mirror, it is possible to get real image and virtual image. So when it comes to last between the focus and pole, we will get an enlarged virtual image. Okay. Now if you see the case of convex mirror, only one option is there. The image is always smaller than the object and it's virtual and it is erect in size. Okay. So there is no other option for convex mirrors. And if you see the spherical mirrors and the plane mirror we studied a condition, lateral inversion. So that is applicable for all kinds of mirror, whether it is plane mirror, concave mirror, convex mirror, whatever it is, it also shows the property of lateral inversion. Now we have a relationship related with the focus and radius of curvature. So radius of curvature or focal length is equal to r by 2. Always we know what is radius of curvature. The radius of the sphere which the mirror is a part. So there is a relationship between focus and radius of curvature. There is a relationship. Focal length is equal to r by 2, or half of the radius will be equal to the focal length, or else we can write r is equal to 2f. Keep both these equations in your mind. Thank you.